Hello, I'm Kori Nicole Barnes with Where's the Buzz TV, and I am here with Chelsea Clark, who is starring in the new season of Ginny and Georgia on Netflix. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you so much for meeting with me. I
Of
really appreciate it. And
course.
I'm really excited to talk about the new season.
No, for sure. And of course, you are one of my beloved characters since my god sister introduced me to the show about 3 years ago. So I've just been super interested to see the character development that transpired throughout the seasons. And I'm just really interested to see how receptive you are already to some of the fans, thoughts to the new season that just released on Netflix. Or are you excited to see more of, their feedback? Or are you nervous? Like, how are you feeling about how they're going to receive this?
Oh, so many feelings. So funnily enough, my sister is also the one who was kind of the forefront of being like, I think this series is gonna be like a huge hit. Like when we were filming it, I was still living at home, like our first season, and I would like come back and tell her about it. And she was like, okay, this is so kooky crazy, but like I really like the concept, and she's a lot younger than me as well. So when it came out, she was kind of part of that like huge high school demographic that really, really kind of made the show as popular as it is. And she kept calling me and she was like, okay, the season is out. Like, how do you feel? And I was like, I feel fine. And she's like, I don't think you understand what
She's
is
like, you
happening
don't get what's
online.
happening.
Literally, she sat me down. She sat me down and she was like, look at these TikToks and like made me watch like 20 of them
Oh my
because I
God.
had no idea because I was so nervous.
Mhm.
And I was like, do you think people like it? And she was like, she's like, I'm gonna hit you. She's
I'm
like, I'm
gonna
gonna
hit you
smack
because
you.
clearly you're trending all over. Like I'm going to, she's like, I'm gonna spaz. Like, yes. Your
Literally.
dynamic kind of seems similar to the friendships you all have in the show. That's so funny. She's like, hello,
Yeah.
sit down. Look at this.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was really funny because last night, obviously the show dropped and she was like, okay, well, I'm going to watch it. Like, let you know my thoughts, but she's in a different time zone. So at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting all of these texts from her being like, this. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'd rather hear it first from you
Yes.
than like have the influx of the fans. And then now I'm
Right,
ready and now I'm prepared. You're giving me your
right,
honest feedback.
right. Okay, I'm
Um,
interested to see what was some
yeah.
honest feedback of hers that you were like, okay, like I'll take that into consideration. I'll take that as constructive criticism.
So when we started this season, I was like, people are gonna hate Nora. I was like, people aren't gonna like her because she's the only person that's like, I don't think what Georgia's doing is okay. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand
Yeah.
what's happening. Which filming was like so hard to do for me because I was like, oh man, like I have to be like, I have to play like the straight
You
character. Like I
do,
have to
yeah.
be
You're
the
like,
one
I'm
that's
playing the
like,
like the not the catalyst, but the oddball, like with the opinion. So you're like, I gotta stand on it. I really have to stand on it.
exactly, exactly. And I was like, oh man, this is gonna like, I was like, I understand what's happening and I get it. But I was like, yeah, people aren't gonna like it. And she texted me at like 3 a.m. and she was like, Nora, question mark? Like, what's going on
She said,
here? And I
what's
was like,
going
just
on? What's
wait. I
your
was
thought
like, just
process
finish
here?
the season, please. Yeah.
Okay, so getting into, of course, the character development of this season, what was that like, just from, of course, we're seeing everyone's growth, right? So just
Mhm.
presenting like her growth now, like how was that like? Like what did you have to tap into with, production or just like studying your lines or like what direction did you want to take the character in the season?
100%. I really, really feel like my makeup artist, Jen, really helped me kind of just like become Nora in a way that I hadn't really been able to access in like the previous seasons. Cause with her, like she was like, okay, so your character is a makeup artist. And I was like, yes, she is. Like,
She is. I
it's
can
like,
do that.
very sprinkled, but like that's kind of her thing, like visual art and like expressing herself through her makeup. And she was like, do you want to like tap into that a little bit more this season? And I was like, please, like that would be so, so amazing. And so all of our, like when we were processing and getting ready, like the first 5-10 minutes would be her like ready with a lookbook, ready with like the mood board, being like, these are the ideas that I have, like with the outfits that you're wearing, like I feel like this like really encapsulates like this aspect that's happening right now, or like these colors go with this. And so we kind of like were able to actually put together a very cohesive look for Nora. Like I don't know if you noticed, but my makeup is like very, very different this season. There's a
Yes,
lot more expression, there's a lot more sparkle,
yes. A lot more
like there's just more
personality.
fun being had.
Yes.
Hmm.
Definitely a lot more
And
personality.
I think that's, yeah, right. Like we want to see, like, you don't need to tell us all the time. Like, let me see what she's like.
Yes.
Like, let me just watch and see, and like, don't tell me because I need to be able to know who you are just by looking at you.
Exactly. And I think you do a, immaculate job with, not in those scenes where you are, you don't have to say too much, but your presence is felt, right? Like how you said, like you don't always have to do too much because when you, of course, are in those scenes where it's more of the focus on what's going on, but you're always, I think, you're such a great actress. I think that you're always prominent, even if it's not like, like
Thank
a scene
you.
like regarding like, something with conflict with you. It's like you're always like, it's there. You're like, okay, you're recognizable. You're one of like the main, people in the circle that actually knows what's going on, right? Like you're closer to the actual conflict and problem. And I think it's so interesting to see how high schoolers they deal with the problems, their thought processes, right? Like throughout this series, because a lot of teenagers can relate. So have you gotten any type of like feedback from fans previously that have reached out about advice, or is there anything in particular that you want them to grasp just about going through high school, or like any, words of wisdom?
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, I think the biggest things that always stood out to me was when people would reach out and be like, I really love Mang. Like, I think it's so cool to see you guys on TV, like as a group together, and like you guys are like a little family. Like, I don't know, like I think that was really important to all four of us that, we were able to kind of show that like friendships in high school don't always need to be catty. They don't always need to be two-faced. You can like have conversations with friends about other people where you're concerned, but it doesn't need to be in like a
Right,
backstabby way.
right.
And like we all like lead with love. Like as frustrated as we all are when we have like the disagreements, you can really tell that it's coming from a place of love and like feeling safe enough to actually express yourself and feeling safe enough to actually be like, no, I'm annoyed with you right now. Like
It's like I'm
back
annoyed. I
off.
love you, but I'm annoyed. Yeah, it's like like get
Exactly.
away from
Yeah. And I
me.
think that's so important because,
Yeah,
like, we touch upon it a little bit near the end where it's like you don't want to walk on eggshells around your
yeah.
friends and you want to be able to express yourself. So yeah, I think my biggest piece of advice is just so corny. I was about to be
No,
like,
you
lead
said
with
no,
love.
but that's true though. It's
um,
true. You need to live with love and grace. And I love that that's of course that is gathered from audiences. I think you all have great chemistry like on set. I'm sure even on behind the scenes, while you are filming, it's always a great time because it just seems very natural with everyone. And dealing with a heavier topic this season, right? Because it's the drama is rising. It's like if the stakes are higher, right? So
yeah.
just
Yeah.
entering that like new phase of like, okay, like our close friend, a lot is on the line for her. Like in real life, do you feel that you would mirror some of your characters, actions and if you were in that same scenario, or how do you feel like that you would like handle the situation?
Oh, 100%. I think the biggest thing about Nora's character that I really had to come to understand is like she's kind of the representation of like the kid of the group. Like she's unsure about what's going on because at the end of the day, they're all children. Like they're all teenagers. Like they don't need to know how to resolve these issues because, they're not supposed to. And I think that's actually a really huge thing that I didn't realize until later on in life is like, you hit like 15, 16 and like you feel all of this freedom and you're so excited. And then you look back like 10 years later and you're like, I was a kid. Like
Like a
I
baby.
was a kid.
Yeah.
I was a baby. And like, I didn't need to know how to handle that. And that's okay.
And that's okay. Exactly. And I think it's so interesting when you do look back, right? You see the growth of like how much, like, right. That's why I think even that I just turned 25 and even looking at that
Happy
season, thank
birthday.
you. Thank
Taurus?
you. I was an Aries actually.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, you're okay, but you're close. You're close. But I think it's so interesting, like looking back, because I'm like, wow, like it's like nostalgic in a sense. It's like that is something that we would do. Like in high school, that
Yeah.
is something that you would think about. Like in high
Oh,
school.
heck
And
yeah.
I love also that you all seem to have more creative control this season as well. Like how you were saying that, the mood board, she's asking like, do you want to show more of your personality? So do you feel that you have more, yeah, like direction, like this season, more control over certain elements that you may not have had prior in the seasons? Or do you feel like the directors are just like, okay, guys, like we've been here for a minute now, like we know each other. So how do you all feel more comfortable with? Is it that those kind of talks, or what is that process like?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. Like I think the big thing is we've been living with these characters for so many years now that, like we really understand like who these people are. So I think coming into the room, like I just have a clearer idea and a clearer vision of like who Nora is, of like, you know, how she would react to certain things. And I feel like that really helps me when I'm in like, you know, my fittings being like, you know what, like I don't think this outfit is it. Like I don't think that's gonna work. And there are times where, you know, there'll be pushback and they'll be like, no, let's try it. And then like you'll try it on and everyone's like, no, 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 like it doesn't work. You're like, you were right. So it's kind of nice because I feel like, yeah, I feel a lot more confident in like understanding Nora and like really advocating for her and kind of, you know, making sure that who she is coming out onto the screen.
What would you want more for Nora in like in the future? Like, what direction do you feel like that you could see her going into? Let's say like even career wise, right? Because they are getting older. But what do you feel like she would best like be an ideal like world?
Yeah, I think my biggest dream for Nora is for her to grow a little bit of a backbone and
You're like,
maybe
girl, get tougher.
more of a
Look.
leadership role. Because, yeah, I think for her, like, she's kind of grown up in this bubble. And I think it would just be really great for her to kind of be able to, like, spread her wings
Mhm,
in a way that shows her that she can kind of stand on her own. Like, I do think that she's so invested in her friends that sometimes we don't really get to see, like, you know, who can she can be by herself, who she is with Jordan, like
mhm,
all of these things. And I really think she should stay in the arts. I
mhm,
think her and Max are going to continue in the arts.
mhm.
And I think that, yeah, like I think for her it's really a question of like confidence and independence that I think she needs to learn and grow from.
Do you feel like there was a certain like challenging like scenes that you know had like not issues with, but were there anything like challenging scenes or like emotional ones that you that took you to like a different level while filming, or that you were kind of surprised about when you were reading through the script and you're like, oh, like this is a little plot twist I wasn't expecting, or like what like any type of surprises like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. Like this whole thing with Ginny and Georgia is like there is something constantly happening.
Something.
So
Yeah,
if you
there's
think you
always
know
something.
what's happening, like you're wrong. Yeah, literally. I think for me, like a lot of the scenes that we do this season in Abby's bedroom kind of mean a lot because, you know, we touch upon like her parents' divorce and like Nora's there for her. And then we also touch upon, you know, like eating disorders and like Abby's eating disorder that has kind of gone throughout all of the seasons. And I think that the scene where it's the three of us trying to like talk to Abby about it was not like difficult to film, but like I think a lot of us just really wanted to make sure we did it justice and we were like, you know, speaking to an issue properly, but also doing it in a way that kind of does resemble how teenagers would deal with
Exactly.
it.
And that's a lot of responsibility, right? When you are handling those sensitive, you know, situations because those happen. There's so many like fans and audiences that may be going through that. They may not talk about it to people, you know, that they're close with, but they see that happening in real life and it's like, oh, well, I'm not alone. And I think that's like you said, it's a great responsibility, but it's very sensitive. And I think you all do portray it very well. Like that you all don't really run from the hard topics to talk about, you know, like the real intimate details. So when you all are shooting that, is it like just like a different atmosphere when you are handling those harder scenes, like on set?
Yeah, I think that like, oh my God, girl, these dogs are like literally like, let's just fight right now.
Okay,
Let's
it's
just
okay. The dogs
play.
are a part of you. So
They're a part of it. They
your fans
wanted to
gonna
say
know they're so
hello.
sweet.
They were truly sleeping like 5 minutes ago. I really didn't think this was going to be an issue.
No, you're okay. Actually, you can talk about your dogs as well, so fans know like some insight about you. So you're animal lover.
I'm
Got
an
home
animal
dog.
lover, didn't grow up with dogs, and then I went and like I was supposed to go pick up corn from a farm. And then I came back with a dog.
And you came back with a dog. You
So
sound like me. I was supposed to go to the store, came back with a fish. It was like,
no, literally, like I'm going up north. Like I'm going away this weekend, and my friend called and was like, "Have so much fun. Don't come back with another dog.
wow.
Like,
She's like, don't. You know,
please,
you have enough dogs. Okay, so don't.
please, for the love of God."
God.
No, like my goal in life is to be Millie Bobby Brown. I want to live on a farm with like all of these random animals and just like be able to be like, yes, this is my sanctuary. Come if you want, but like leave me here and I'll be okay.
I'm sure y'all would be besties. Millie Bobby Brown. If you see this, watching this, she would love. a play date to
Please
go.
invite me to your farm. I want to see your goats.
Did you bring any of your animals on set, like when you like your pets on set, like when you travel or anything, or you leave them at home, or like us care
I
them?
usually leave them at home.
Okay.
They Yeah, like we film for so long sometimes,
Mhm.
and it would just take like so much coordinating. There are a couple people that do bring their pets on set because they've like figured out the schedule, and
Yeah.
it's so nice to have. Like, I love when people's pets come, and like it's very cute, and like you'll just see them pop out of the little van and then hang out in the trailer, and it's very nice.
No, I'm so like glad, of course, that fans were able to get more insight about like who you are personally, as well as your thoughts on the new season. You know, your amazing job, but very beloved character. So I'm so excited to see
Thank
how
you.
fans. No problem. I'm so excited to see how fans continue to receive the new season. I'm sure it's gonna be, trending. Number one, it's always trending when it comes out on Netflix, right? It's always trending. And I mean, how is that seeing yourself trending, right? Like when you watch Netflix, I'm just like, wow, that's me again.
It's wild. It truly is a very wild experience. At first, like sometimes it'll just be Ginny and Georgia, and I'm like, yeah, Ginny and Georgia,
Yeah.
that's there. And then sometimes it'll be the four of us, and I'm like,
You're like, oh,
who's that? I'm like, who's that? What's happening?
ever get old? Like, yourself, like, being advertised on social media for the show or like on Netflix, does that feeling ever get old where it's like, oh, wow, like that's me. Like, this is real. Like, our series is a hit. It's a smash.
Yeah, I think that like the biggest moments for me was like season one when the show just like completely blew up, and
Yeah.
I was like, I don't, again, my sister had to sit me down and be like, do you understand what's happening?
Well, do you
And I was like,
understand? Like, little, that's a
I
sister
clearly
relationship,
didn't.
though. That is so funny. That really is a sister. Like, she's like, you're not getting it. I don't know if I have to like hit you for you to get it. I don't have to like throw this at you.
No, there was like a whole era where she was like, we're doing Q&As today with your fans, sit down,
Sit down.
like I'm
Yes.
setting
Oh,
it
I love
up.
her. She's what, a sister,
Yeah.
momager, like sister manager. Like we
Literally.
need a term from that. She's like, she could be it. She's like, look, I'm gonna be on your PR side as well. She's like, I'm helping you.
Oh, 100. If you think that I post anything without sending it to her first, like that's
Oh, yeah, you're
crazy.
like, this she's my the yes or no. But little sisters, they're always gonna be honest. They don't care. They're very blunt, very direct.
They're so they're so humbling. They're
They
so
are,
humbling.
but I'm so glad that again that you're able to sit down and talk with me today about the new season of Ginny and Georgia that's on Netflix. It is out now and of course trending. So definitely go stream. And thank you so much again, Chelsea, for sitting down with me.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you. I'm Kori Nicole Barnes again with Worst of Us TV.